Welcome everyone to Shadows Remastered on Arena. I'm going to be doing sealed pools today, and I actually have two of them in this video, and we're going to open both of them, build decks with both of them, and compare them and talk about both of them relative to each other. How does my deck building process differ based on what I open? And then I'll show you some gameplay at the end. Let's jump into the first sealed pool with the first packs that I opened. So this is kind of a nightmare open. There's absolutely no cohesion between any of these rares. They don't really play together very well. They don't have same synergies. I'm curious to see what our two other rares that we opened are. But from the get-go, what I can say is when I see a pack like this that I open, the first thing I need to do is grab all the removal and see what my removal is like in each of my colors. Because if I'm not playing 3 or 4 different rare bombs, then I need to be playing things that can remove other people's planeswalkers, other people's bomb rares that have indestructible or other problems in the game. So things like Angelic Purge become so much better because they can hit planeswalkers. Things like Imprisoned by the Moon become very premium removal as well for me. I am interested in playing with Startled Awake. I've never gotten to play with this card yet, so I might bias towards blue because of that card alone, but we'll see. But yeah, start with removal. And Kindly Stranger is removal here. It's just harder to get to work removal, but it is there. So it goes in as well, even though it's a creature. Pick the Brain is similar in that it is still removal. I consider Pick the Brain bad removal, but it's definitely still removal that needs to go in the list when you're considering how much removal you have. We have quite a bit of Madness in black that I'm also noting. And some good Madness in red as well as wow, just tons of burn in red, which is a really good sign. I think our red so far is our best color. Duskwatch Recruiter is really good in green. Green removal is always going to seem a little bit lackluster compared to the other colors. That's just normal. Our green doesn't look bad. The Priest here is one of our extra rares as well. Okay. It seems like I pulled out good removal in each color. I think we do need to lean towards removal that can remove planeswalkers, though, since we don't have any big bombs. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Our blue looks pretty good. Our whites, it's okay. The removal is good. The creatures are okay, not great. I think our red definitely looked best. Our black has potential as well, just as comboing with our red. If we're looking at the curve, I think blue and red have probably the best removal, with black's top end removal being pretty good, as it could destroy any creature as long as it doesn't have indestructible. But for now, I think the only color that I'm leaning towards heavily is red, so I'm just going to keep the red in, and we're going to cut everything else, and we're just going to go in and see what we can do with red. I have a gut feeling I'm going to go with the Vampire synergies, even though we don't have the strongest stuff to support that. I do think our creature count is a little bit low for the Recruiter in green to be amazing. We don't really have a lot of werewolves to make our green rares shine. Geist could be okay on a splash. Priest could be okay if we're playing black-red vampires. Scourge is always good. It's actually probably one of the better rares we open because it can go in any deck. I think the zombies here are good just for a Madness card. The Kindly Stranger is usually pretty decent, although I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it work, but even if you don't, still a 2-3 for 3. It's okay. Yeah, I think that's the black that I'm willing to play. Let's see what blue looks like. Imprisoned by the Moon is really solid. And I do want to try this mill card as well, Startled Awake, even though I don't think it's good. Ongoing Investigation's good even if you're not playing green. Yeah. I mean, we don't have any other mill strategies, but Startled Awake just seems fun, right? It's not a good card, it's a fun card. 12 creatures if we run Soggy Vampires. Is that good enough? I guess we have the 2 zombies that can be made off Madness. We can cut Certain Death. I think if we're going to go this direction, we want to be a little bit more aggressive and have lower curve out. Tormenting Voice probably doesn't need to be there. We have a lot of Madness enablers. Silent Departure is good. Adrenaline might be the cut because we don't have that many creatures. Ongoing Investigation probably should get cut, but the card draw is like the only way we have to draw cards. I think we can definitely cut the Fury. We don't really need it. We could probably cut an Imprisoned by the Moon if we really want to and slim it down to only 1. But like I said, it's some of our best removals, so I'm not sure I want to cut it. Faithless Looting could go. I mean, it's good. It's really good, but like I said, we already have a lot of Madness enablers. I'm not sure we need another one. Silent Departure is great, but I'm not sure we need the bounce either. The Adrenaline is an easy cut, I think, at this point. I mean, our curve looks good right now with all the cuts that I did. I mean, that's a decent curve. I don't mind it. I don't want to spend all day trying to do this, you know? This is not the best sealed deck I've ever seen in my life, but it does have a decent curve out with some pretty premium removal to back up some early drop creatures and a little bit of Madness energy. I think it could go the distance and win out quite a bit. Spontaneous Mutation's so good. I almost want to just get rid of the bounce, even though Silent Departure is great. And then we just cut a land. So this deck plans on winning with Curve Out and Control. Good enough. Let's do it. Wait, no. Silly me. I almost forgot we're not doing Delirium, so Kindly Stranger needs to come out and we can put in Deadweight instead. Now we're ready to go. Let's jump into the next sealed pool. So in the last sealed pool we just watched, there weren't any cohesive bombs to give us direction, so we used our removal to give us a good direction. This sealed pool is different. As you can see here, we opened amazingly cohesive bombs. Every single red card's good. And then Lancers is good if we have another legendary creature we can go get. But Garrison is just one of those 3 drops that wins the game on its own. So it's like the biggest bomb here. We also have Angel and Judgment, all good. And even like Startled Awake could be playable in a Spells red deck, depending on what we see. Because it's so good, let's go find what our one other rare is and then see if it's legendary. Oh, it is. It's Audric, and it's white. So that makes Thalia's Lancers pretty bomber because it goes and fetches Audric for us. And we also have good other top-end white with the Paladin and the Binders. Ooh, double take inventory. Our blue doesn't look too bad. You know, Imprisoned by the Moon, some scabs. It's okay. Our black looks pretty unplayable, actually. Our red looks amazing. Double Galvanic. Looks like we have some ways to discard. Fantastic payouts. Wow. Okay. Let's see our green. We've got a Constrictor, which is good. 3 Bloodbriars is great. Do we have any clues? We do have some clues. It's a little bit of synergy there. I didn't see any of the blue clue stuff either, though. Spider Spawning is one of the new cards added to the set. And our artifacts are underwhelming. Our green looks decent. It's just, I don't know. Our white and our red look so good. I'm just going to pull the white and red out first. There's really no reason for me to pull out all the removal in the other colors. It looks like white and red are just probably the best colors for the sealed pool, given the rares that we have. Just from glancing at all the cards, I feel like red-white's just going to be an amazing aggro deck. So there's really no need for me to look at green closely yet. Alright, let's grab the white. Yeah, I'd play maybe the angel. We'll see. I think the shepherd goes. Cather goes. Bound by Moon Silver is great. Tap down creature. Okay. We don't really have equipment right now, so I'm not sure Strength of Arms makes the cut, but let's go check what we have. We have 43 cards right now, which is nearly a perfect number anyway. See if we're missing anything. We could do the True Faith. Look at this curve. It's almost like picturesque. How close are we to getting Delirium? Delirium's not out of the question. We'd have to run some of these artifacts to make Delirium work, but it's possible going for Delirium has a good enough payout with the White Angel. And it's possible we can run Strength of Arms if we run equipment, but I think the Reaper could be good enough if we go for Delirium here. Which is a little weird, but I don't think our deck loses too much power in trying to go for a little bit of Delirium for the top end. I think I need to cut down on some 3-drops, maybe some 1-drops, and maybe a top end card or two. Uncaged Fury doesn't need to be in here. Tormenting Voice maybe doesn't need to be in here. Hostility is probably a cut. We'll see. I do like Mantle. Wolf seems a little weak. Yeah, let's cut the Hostility. I think the Censor might be my next cut, and we just cut the equipment synergy at all. I don't know if we need the equipment. I'd rather probably play a creature down. And even though the wolf's not good, maybe it's the right play. Could do the Field Creeper. It's a 2-drop, 2/1. It's actually probably better than the wolf for us. Let's see what we got here. Need another sorcery. 1 sorcery is not enough for Delirium to pay out, so... where was that? Yeah, Faithless Looting, or we can do Tormenting Voice. I don't mind Tormenting Voice. Faithless Looting also can be okay. I'll just run Tormenting Voice is fine. Faithless Looting might be better. But I don't want to overthink this too much. Let's just go with Tormenting Voice. We can cut something here. I don't know if I want to cut my early game. They're all really good. We might not need the First Strike from the enchantment. You know? Maybe we'll just be aggressive enough where it's not needed. And then I kind of want to cut the top end werewolf. Run it like that. This Field Creeper is going to be doing a lot. I guess we don't need the equipment. I do want to run 17 lands here. I think if we hit our land drops, we can't lose. I need to curve out. So I need to hit my lands really consistently, and I can't stall. Wow, look at that creature curve. Oh, I knew it was going to be good, but not that good. That's amazing. Let's jump in. Start hand looks amazing. Turn 3 Garrison is the best you can ask for, with early removal leading up to it and then later removal after you land it. I mean, like I said, Garrison can solo somebody on turn 3 if they don't remove it. So if we just remove all their threats and then we land a Garrison, it's going to be hard to beat. This is an ideal start hand. The only thing that's not ideal is that the opponent goes first and we are on the draw. Man, could you imagine this hand on the play? That'd be gross. Cool sleeves. Like the water moves. Okay. Red first so that we can play Bombardment on their 2-drop if they drop something. Looks like they're not. We got double Bombardment. Let's put out double red so that we could double cast if we need to. Okay, that's a great target for Bombardment. Just going to fire it now, be a mana efficient, and we're going to land our Garrison right away. Hopefully we can get rid of anything that they put down. They are playing a lot of colors over there. I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of colors, but that's a lot of colors. We can get rid of that, but I don't think we need to. I think we can pretty safely just attack in. We have instant speed removal that we're holding open. Okay, take 4. Would like to draw not a land next turn. I don't mind that we're taking 2 damage here. Okay, Binder is something I'm going to kill on sight. Just be mana efficient again. Ooh, that's like an ideal draw. Let's go get Audric. I can main phase this because they're tapped out. The creature is tapped. It doesn't matter. It's not like they can untap anything or do anything about it. So normally you play your creature after you attack, but in this situation it does not matter. Audric's going to give every single creature first strike during each combat. So it's not just my combat phase, it's their combat phase too. I like that they have their own Lancers. We'll see what they get off their Lancers here. It's a good card, but really expensive. I don't think they're going to get to it before this game's over. We've got lethal here. Just bound and Moonsilver their Lancers. I'm actually going to play out my 2-drop for progress towards my daily today and attack in, and we have it. You can just see how Garrison unanswered snowballs into a lot of damage with all the 1/1s that it creates. This is a great hand. I mean, a little slow. A lot slow. That Bombardment's gonna have to do a lot, but I'm not gonna turn in 2 of our best cards. I wish that Audric wasn't in hand because it makes the Lancers less good, but it's still not something you turn in when you see that kind of card quality in your hand. Tormenting Voice is actually a very good draw for us here. Our opponent hasn't done anything yet, so I feel really good about discarding a land, which will play into our graveyard synergies for Delirium. So we're going to put a sorcery and a land into our grave, and then that'll make our Angel even better. Once we cast Bombardment, that'll become 3 types in our grave, and then if anything dies, our Angel is going to become a 5/4, which is just really good for this set as a flyer. That's a Bombardment hit. Yeah, I think... I do think the Storm's Mitt is safer because, you know, I can get guaranteed 5 mana next turn for my play, but I think I like double casting Bombardment with our mana tapped and our Cathar. And we're not even going to get to see our Angel become a 5/4. It's unfortunate. Okay. These quick pickups from my opponents are not ideal for showing you how this deck works. Let's keep playing. It's 2 really fast games. Let's show this deck off one more time and see if we can get our bombs actually on the board and going so you can see them a little bit better in action. Maybe our deck's too good. This is probably one of our worst start hands possible, but I'm going to keep it because Bound by Moonsilver is a really great card, and we also have early interaction as a 2-drop. So I don't turn in hands that have 3 or 4 lands in them if there's decent enough cards in it as well. Just as a rule, I don't do that. Yeah, we run out our creature. Hold open bombardment looks good. Like I said, this was probably one of our slower start hands we could have drawn. Normally by turn 3 we have some damage on them. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the late game. My deck does want to have damage advantage early on the opponent. Okay, I mean we're up to 5 lands in our hand. That's good. We can cast Paladin next turn. I'll swing in for 1. And we still have lots of removal for when they start playing. Mad Prophet is a kill on sight card for sure because it's just crazy powerful if it gets going. And this way if they do discard something for madness, they're not going to get the value off of it. Yep. And that's because their mana was tapped. It's an artifact for our graveyard, but I think we run out Paladin first. Harvest Hand is another great target. It's a little risky going for 2 damage on it, but I think going for Apparatus and killing it is probably the right thing to do. If they have a trick, they'll have to use it before combat, and that way I won't have my Paladin blown up or something from something silly here. Okay, let's go in. Good, good. Okay. That's something we can manage with a tap down. I don't think we need to necessarily Moonsilver it. It's not quite good enough to Moonsilver. And with our tap down creature, it's a good target for it. Unfortunately, we can't play out our Delirium Angel and tap down their vampire all at once. I guess I'm okay doing Field Creeper and tap down. I don't know if we need the angel out there. I'd rather swing in for 3 and gain 3. Yeah. And then we'll be able to Field Creeper as well. That's good enough. They're going to hit us for 6 here, but we're at 26 life and I just don't care. I'm not going to block. I guess if I did block, I could technically kill their 6/4 with Judgment. I just don't think that's worth it. I'd rather Judgment their 3/2 and they don't have a blocker, and then we just keep attacking in. We're winning the race. We just need to clear the way. Now that complicates things, so maybe we can Moonsilver it now. Garrison's a really great draw. But yeah, Moonsilver is definitely the right choice, and then we're just going to swing in. We can just do 5 damage this turn because that gets them halfway, and we can do 6 next turn. We'll tap down their vampire on their upkeep so that we don't get hit for extra damage. Or, actually, better yet, here's what we're going to do. The vampire swings in. We're going to let it hit. And then they're going to have to drop 2 creatures. Not just 1, 2 creatures for us not to tap them down and win next turn. So we're letting this hit. Let's see what they drop down. If they drop down only 1 creature, we win. Okay, I can kill that with Judgment, so I'm not going to tap that down. Do they have a second creature? They do not. Let's see. Maybe they have Madness. I think it's very likely we have this in the bag. I don't think there's a White Madness card, is there? Can't think of one. No. Okay, they have a red mana. Let's see what they do. Okay, that doesn't matter. We're still going to be able to tap it down. All right. They didn't play out another creature. We tap it down. Now we swing in with everything, and we have them. We're just going to play out the garrison to show them that we had the garrison as well for fun. Sorry, OP. This deck is absolutely ridiculously gross for sealed. It's not often you open a sealed pool that has such a great aggro deck, but when you do, it just makes everybody else's deck seem so slow. Let's just look at the deck one last time. That beautiful curve that you rarely see in sealed, but if you can get it with the perfect creature removal ratio, look at all our interactions under 3 mana. When you get something like this, it's just insanely difficult for anybody to deal with. We never even got the angel out. We never needed it. The game's over too fast, but overall, hopefully you saw how cool this deck could be. Let's jump back to our first sealed pool and see how that deck plays. My first win, my opponent just scooped immediately, so it wasn't a game, so we're just going to go to game 2. But if you recall, we're playing Soggy Vampires here. And hopefully this opponent does not scoop like our first one did. Okay. It's a pretty good start hand, actually. If we can draw a land, it'll have a nice curve out. And Imprisoned by the Moon is really good removal. It's one of our better removals for our deck, so I'm pleased to see that. It's very likely we can get the 2 damage ping off our priest with this kind of hand, as we could probably just start discarding lots of cards. The 0/4 is a little bit annoying against 2/2s, but we can make it fly if we want to start discarding cards. I'm not sure we're there yet. I think it's better just to add to the board and keep playing out creatures. No reason to attack here. The scry on the Geist is actually pretty powerful. You know, it's one of those things where as a player against it, you don't feel it because you're not seeing what they're putting at the bottom or keeping on top, but trust me, that scry does add up to card advantage for them over time because they are less likely to draw cards that aren't meaningful. We can start making our vampires bigger, and we can also give our creature flying and tag him for 2, make it a 3/3 this turn, plus give prowess. Yeah, we can take down anything with our scab, and it'll have first strike. Let's go ahead and attack. Unfortunately, we can't do the Masquerade as an instant and still get flying in terms of, you know, after the blockers are assigned, so we're not going to blow anybody up. We're not going to blow anybody up with that, but flying's well worth it, making it a 3/3, and then all of a sudden our scab becomes pretty unblockable here. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and activate to do 1 extra point of damage since I don't have a second spell I want to cast this turn. We get a 3/3 vampire, pretty sweet. This looks good. Blood Priest is going to be real good. Okay, they're going to equip their heirloom. Taking 4 here. I think we can win in a race, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. That's a great draw. Now we can kill their vampire and swing in again in the air. We can main phase the madness to give it flying, I think, is well worth it. And then our scab can also kill their Geist again or threaten it by holding blue open. So let's go ahead and do that. Fiery Temper the vampire. Yeah, 1 mana. Prowess trigger. Flying trigger. Could Imprison the Moon to make sure we push more damage, but then we can't pump up the scab. I think we just attack in as is. And then we can put another vampire down after this. Yep, I'm gonna pump it up. This does make it so that our priest can't come down this turn, but our priest has madness anyway, and you kind of want it to come down as the last card in your hand, ideally, so I'm okay playing out another dragoon and saying go, even though it was just slightly less mana efficient. I don't think they'll swing in here. I don't think they can afford to, but if they do, that'll be pretty frightening. I'm not sure I'll block. Dead weight is fine. If we draw a land, we can empty out our whole hand. Be super gross. That's fine. Actually kind of want to draw land now, so we can ping it for 2 and empty out our whole hand. Okay, that's not a land, and it's not even castable. I guess we can just attack in here. Give it flying with madness. Cast the priest even though it doesn't ping for 2 on ETB. It's still a 4/4 vampire. And say next. We got him in the air next turn off of Flying Madness if they can't deal with the 5/5. There's very few cards that can deal with a 5/5. I mean, their deck looks good. They're searching. It's probably a good sign for us. It means they don't have the answer they need. Okay. Hunter. Not good enough. I can imprison that and then discard my vampire and then we win. No, we can't cast the vampire, but they don't have anything that can block the air, so it's a safe play. So we'll just go ahead and imprison and then discard. No, we can't play it off of it, but it's fine. We can attack all and deal 2 damage here, and then we win. Sweet. It went pretty well. Good show off of the enchantment that we use that gives vampires and every creature first strike and gives 1/1 counters to vampires. Let's go to the next game. Hand looks okay. Play out a red, I think, to start, or no, maybe we just do black. So we can cast our vampire on turn. Nah, red's good. That way we can do Galvanic. I think it's worth it. They can sack this and draw a card, but they don't get the whole madness trigger ability with it that they might be looking for. There we go. Yeah. I mean, they still get to filter a draw, but at least they're not getting madness value off of that as well. Good land draw. Our hand kind of needs some help here. Only 2 drop creatures is usually not great. That's an okay creature to see. That's a good spell. I'm going to save it, though, since our hand is kind of lackluster, and play out another vampire to kind of show them, hey, we can buff up our vampires, and I'll attack in. Offer them to chump if they want. They will not, by the way. I think I'm okay chumping with my vampire, though. If they attack in with their wolf. I don't know, though. This is not a very good start. I'm not going to block this turn. I'll let them hit me if they want to use their mana that way. Yeah. I'm actually very happy they use their mana that way. Kind of buys us some more time. Red mana was just what we needed. We can play out our wolf and swing in for 4. I'm not discarding this island for 2 extra damage. That would be silly. Our wolf makes a pretty good blocker for their wolf because ours has first strike. Okay. Now we can't really block it very well. It's going to get 4 defense instead. We can always incendiary flow after first strike damage is dealt if we need to. I guess we swing in and try and double spell something here. We could lose our Dragoon in the bluff, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, nah. Let's just offer the wolf. Okay, didn't bite. I still think we're within good racing distance here. Flow can go to face as well as creatures, depending on what they play here. It's not a fun card, but it's okay. And they didn't attack in. That's good. I guess we offer a trade of the wolf again here. I'm going to discard and give flying, so at least 2 damage gets in. And hopefully they try and trade off or block the wolf. And if they don't, I mean, that's fine. So now we have them down to 8 life. Dangerously close to dead with the flow if they don't block again. We just need to find just a touch more damage. Definitely playing very aggressively here. This could bite us. We could be taking a lot of damage next turn. We can always flow the turn after if we need to. We can mutate at instant speed to reduce the amount of damage we play here. Relentless Dead is a very good card, but they're not really playing a sacrifice deck to make it amazing, so I'm not too worried about it. We could flow it to exile it, but again, I think the flow is either going to have to be to face or to remove a creature that we couldn't otherwise kill, like that wolf. Okay, we're going to mutate the wolf to just put a stop to some of this damage. 9 damage is a lot. We may need to entertain blocking for 1 turn and only swinging in for 2 this turn. Depends what we top deck. Okay, that's game. That's like the best draw we could have had. We're going to do both of these to face, and then, yeah, just make sure. Yeah, that works. They don't have any mana open to undo this. Okay, so this goes to face, 3 damage. This goes to face, 3 damage, and then I swing in for 2, and they can only block 1 creature. Pretty nice. That was a little bit hairy. Thanks for joining me for doing Sealed. Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered on Arena. It's very likely my next video is going to be on the new set mechanics that were revealed yesterday. There are some really different mechanics that are going to be part of this next set. Probably going to do a separate pre-release video and a separate set mechanics video, and we'll go from there. But lots of exciting stuff coming up soon with the spoiler season well on its way for March of the Machine. So I will see you then.